What's up everybody, it's Sean here, and I'm here today to give you guys my review of the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low OG Quick Strike in this reverse mocha colorway. Today's video is brought to you by Heffelux. Heffelux is my all-time favorite sneaker insoles, and they sell ETPU insoles, which essentially is the same material you'll find in Adidas Boost. So if you're looking to add some additional comfort inside of your shoes, be sure to check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box. You'll see they sell a variety of different insoles, so depending on the type of insole density and the cushioning setup you're looking for, you're going to find there's a suitable pair for everyone. So I've been a paying customer of Heffelux for years now, and to me, I personally find them to be extremely comfortable. So if you guys want to check them out and try a pair for yourself, be sure to use the code SEANGO at checkout and get 15% off your entire purchase. So this is the latest collaboration between Travis Scott with Nike, and this one is the Air Jordan 1 Low Silhouette. Releasing on July 21st, these retailed for a price of $150 US or $190 here in Canada, and the official colorway for this shoe, while it's nicknamed Reverse Mocha, it's actually Sail, University Red, and Ridge Rock. So in recent months, Air Jordan 1s have kind of dipped down in terms of popularity, resale value, and hype. But of all Travis Scott Nike collaborations, arguably his Jordan 1s have been the most popular, so it still makes sense why this pair is still reselling for a price of roughly 1,500 Canadian dollars on the secondary market. But in typical Travis Scott fashion, aside from that oversized reverse swoosh, the entire color scheme of the shoe has a very earth tone sort of vibe to it, which falls right in line with his aesthetic. So first things first, here's a quick look at the box. So this comes in a sail colored cardboard box. The bottom is actually quite sturdy and stiff. On the very top, we have Nike branding in brown, and we also have Nike branding on the sides of the box, also done in brown as well. And inside the box, we have this pink colored paper with both Travis Scott and Nike co-branding inside. As we take a deep dive into the details, the base layer of the shoe on the toe box, this is constructed out of a brown colored nubuck, which feels very buttery and very soft to the touch. Just like all your other Air Jordan 1s, the toe box is perforated, but then surrounding the outer edge of the toe box, we have a very tumbled white colored leather. This same tumbled leather covers the eyelets of the shoe as well. Beneath this on the quarter panel, we have more of that brown colored nubuck, and then stitched on the lateral side, we have that oversized reverse swoosh, which is constructed out of a sail or cream colored leather. But when you compare this to the medial side, on this side, it keeps it much more OG, and instead here we have your normal swoosh, which is constructed out of a white colored leather, and moving towards the back, we have Cactus Jack branding in red. Surrounding the bottom of the heel, we have more of that tumbled white colored leather, and the same leather covers the top of the heel as well, but embroidered in the center, we have the Air Jordan Wings logo found on the right shoe, and Travis Scott's face logo found on the left shoe. In terms of laces, so these actually come with 4 different lace options. The standard default lace is a wax lace, which is done in a cream or sail color, and this one was my personal favorite. I think it looks the best by far. But if you're not feeling the sail laces, they also give you a red colored lace, a white one, and a brown pair as well. Underneath this, we have your traditional nylon tongue. This is done in that same Ridge Rock or brown color, and at the very top, we have this white tag with Nike Air branding in red. The interior of the shoe is lined in this Ridge Rock or brown colored textile, and it's very thinly padded. And then as for the insole itself, so this comes with a foam lined insole, and you can see the insoles on the left shoe and the right shoe differ, but both insoles feature custom Travis Scott and Nike or Jordan co-branding. So the upper of these Jordan 1s sits atop this solid rubber cupsole, which is painted in this vintage looking sail or cream color. Encapsulated within the midsole but not visible to the eye, we do have Nike Air technology for cushioning, and then turning this pair over to the bottom, so this is your classic Air Jordan 1 outsole. This is constructed out of a Ridge Rock or brown colored rubber. We have the circular pivot point on the forefoot along with this Nike logo right in the middle. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about sizing, to me these fit like most of my other Jordan 1 Low OGs, so I personally prefer to stick true to size, so in my case, this pair is a size 10. So I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I know some people prefer to go a half size down for the Jordan 1 Low OGs. Like I mentioned before, there's not that much padding surrounding this shoe, so I can see why some people like to go a half size down, but personally because of my slightly wider feet, I feel like true to size fits me a bit better. There is about a thumb's width between the edge of the shoe and the top of my toe, so if you feel like that's a little bit too much room for you, then you'd probably be better off going a half size down. But to play it safe, if you don't want to risk it or if you have really wide feet, just stick true to size. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel like any other Air Jordan 1, aside from the fact that this is a low cut, meaning there's a bit more ankle mobility, and obviously they're a bit lighter than the Jordan 1 high counterparts. However, the underfoot feeling is pretty much identical. It feels pretty firm and flat to the ground. There's honestly not too much from a softness and step and comfort perspective, but for just an everyday use shoe, just for casual use, they're going to be perfectly fine. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and craftsmanship, so first off, material quality, I thought it was pretty solid. I wouldn't say that it's the best quality materials I've seen on a Jordan shoe before, but as far as an Air Jordan 1 goes, I'd say that it's definitely above average. Like I said, the nubuck feels very buttery and very soft. You run your fingers across it, you can see the change in color from the hairs of the nubuck. And the leather used on the shoe with this white part and the sail portion, it is pretty heavily tumbled, and I thought overall the quality of it seemed pretty decent. And from an overall build and craftsmanship standpoint, my pair at least didn't have any major flaws. I didn't notice any glue stains or anything like that. The paint job seemed pretty decent, so from that standpoint, I had no complaints. So with all that out of the way now, let me lace these up and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. Obviously, a part of the reason why a lot of people want this shoe is because the fact that it's very limited, and obviously because of the hype surrounding the fact that this is a Travis Scott collaboration. However, putting aside that whole hype aspect about this shoe, I honestly think the colorway is very clean. The combination of the brown nubuck, the white leather, the cream hits, it just goes together very well. And I know some people didn't love the red colored accents on this shoe, but I like that added pop, and it gives it that extra accent color that I think the shoe really needs. It is unfortunate that they made this shoe so limited, because I honestly barely know anyone that was able to grab their pair for retail. But that's just the name of the game these days, especially because the Jordan 1 hype seems to be dying or at least slowing down. I could see why Jordan Brand and Nike want to pump out a very limited shoe to sort of reignite the flame and make the silhouette a bit more popular, even if it's just momentary. Between this one, the original colorway, and the fragment pair, so these are the 3 Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows, it's really tough to rank. I think I might have to go with the fragment pair as my favorite, and then this pair might come in at number 2, and then the original surprisingly coming in at 3rd. But all 3 colorways are absolute fire. It's really tough to rank them from best to worst. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this reverse Mocha Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 low. For anyone watching, were you guys able to grab these for retail? If you took an L, did you pay resale for yours, or did you just pass altogether? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on my Instagram page at sgo8. Check me out on Twitter as well at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.